Hello, good evening, folks. How are you doing today? You're welcome to another edition of Just Banter. And today we have a fantastic guest on today, as usual. All our guests are usually fantastic people. And today we have somebody on that it's a dream to actually have him on, because he just does not like publicity. He's a very quiet person. He's an engineer's fellow. He used to be in the music industry and now he has moved into mining. You might be wondering what's the correlationship. He's just an amazing guy like that. And we never told you this before, but he was actually the band's former manager as well while he was in the music industry. His name is Tony Nwakalor, and I'm bringing him into the studio now. Hello, Tony. How are you today?
I'm fine, thank you, Aviv. How you doing?
I'm great. It's amazing to actually have you online. You don't like publicity. You don't like publicity, and a lot of people don't know you except the people that were in the music industry. They are the ones that truly know who Tony Nwakalor is, the type of impressions you've made there, the kind of successes that you had. But then you moved into mining. So I don't know which one to start with first. I think I should start with mining. Why did you go into mining?
Well, Nigeria as a country I'm usually ashamed when I travel to the West, and I've been opportune to travel a bit, and I see how we take loans for everything we want to do, just because we cannot harness our own God-given resources. I looked at the oil and gas sector and I tried to extricate Shell, Chevron, Mobil, and try to see if those companies from Europe and America weren't in Nigeria, would we have had an oil and gas industry? And frankly, the answer for me was no. And that challenged me to go for that which I actually wanted to do right from when I was in banking, because I also have that side of me. I wanted to go deeply into commodity trading.
Right.
Of both agriculture products, processed products, and mining products. But agriculture is a little easier because, it doesn't require, such heavy machinery, and it's not that, cost intensive like mining is. So I went in all full throttle and
full guns blazing.
Because my brother, the one bar of gold is $45,000, right?
Wow.
kg. Yeah, that's the price. So
well, you said it's cost intensive, so do you think that that's probably the challenge for most people in terms of going into mining?
Not exactly. It's cost intensive if you want to go into it commercially, like the BHP Billiton's, like Rio Tinto's, like Vales, like those types of what they call the mining majors. You can also there's room for junior exploration companies who their job is actually target generation. So they identify mineral resources or ore deposits, and then they define those resources, and then they sell those finds to the majors. So there's various levels at which you can play. But just because I don't think Nigerians really like science too much, anything that requires too much thinking or science, for me, unfortunately, that's the only types of things that made the West the West. It was technology. Technology is science. Elon Musk is science. Tesla was science. Everybody who made our lives comfortable somehow was connected to the sciences more than the arts.
Yeah. So, like I had a little experience way back when I was in the university. I went to Ahmadu Bello University. And at some points, quite a lot of people were talking about precious stones, semi-precious stones, that type of stuff. But it still was not something that was really popular at that time. People just, really didn't understand what it was. And then for a lot of people, there were a lot of trust issues, which is generally in Nigeria. People have trust issues when it comes to doing business. Now, mining is not something that you have a lot of control over. How did you get, to be able to strike a balance? So much so that you're even a consultant for the National Assembly. How did you achieve that in so short a time?
I'm a polymath. So anything I go into, I get to the top really quickly. I try to say that humbly, but that's how it is.
Yeah, I know you like
I
doing
put
things in
in,
a big way.
yeah, I mean, those kind of statements can be misconstrued, but
Yeah.
that's the only answer I can give you. Because some people say, "Are you a miner? Are you an artist manager? We know you as a banker. Some know me as an actor." I've had like 7 or 8 different careers that several people have as one career
Have you
in this.
acted before?
Yes, I have. I've done the. I've produced movies. I've acted. I've produced movies that were AMA nominated. I did Cash Money, it was my movie. I did Militants, it was my movie. I did.
Wow.
I've been an actor in 2003 with Jetta Amata. We did The Addict.
Yeah.
2002, actually.
Yeah.
The
Hmm.
movie titled The Addict. I played the lead on that one. And then
Wow.
so I've been blessed to get the taste of almost of very diverse industries, and my background is in pure sciences anyway, environmental biology.
So how did you now take that giant? You initially, what everybody, the people that do know you, what they knew you as was the banker, and then you now took a really giant leap into entertainment. So
Uh,
much so that you became a household name when
no,
it
no,
comes to
I wasn't a
when it
household.
comes when it comes no when it comes to the business side. To the business
Okay,
side of entertainment, you became a household name. Everybody that was on the business side of entertainment knew you. Most of the artists, they also knew you. Now, being a polymath, wow. So it was easy for you to transcend from one to the other. But what
I can
exactly made you pick entertainment?
because I've always loved music since I was a kid. Music for me is the food for the soul, and I'm
Oh,
more,
yeah.
I'm more spiritual than religious, even since I was a kid. Even though, we used to go to church and all of that, but I could connect to my higher essence through music. So I used to write out the lyrics of songs when I was in like primary two, and I used to write out songs like Midnight Star, Shalama,
Oh,
you know,
yeah. The good
I
oldies.
used
Yeah.
to, yeah, those types of songs have a lot of soul in them. So
Yeah.
it created the foundation of my love for rhythm, my love for melody, and then my love for conscious music and obviously R&B. So from that time, I was actually, actively involved in a lot of things growing up that had relationship with music. And then when when um when I started in film, the plan was to do film production. I've
Yeah.
done a bit of acting. I understand finance. So when it was time to do music, because of how not cost intensive again, music is.
Yeah.
I structured it. I had to structure it a little differently and bring in my knowledge of banking and finance into the music
Into
business.
music. So for the finance aspect of the music business, you're one of the pioneers in terms of people that were willing to put money behind the new generation. So when I say the new generation, of course, I'm talking of the guys that are now the old generation in terms of Afro beats. Just talking of the likes of them Two Face, the Band, and everybody. So you understood the finance. A lot of them did not. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we had a couple of these people on the show as well who are on the business side of entertainment, music particularly. And what all of them had in common was the issue of structure, especially when it came to financing artists and artists' expectations. What do you think, is the problem, still is the problem with that right now?
So they don't. Why do you put yourself through the misery of learning on the go? You can put it on paper and create scenarios, right? That's what the business plan is, isn't it?
Yeah,
So
definitely. Yeah.
you have your operating expenditure, you have your capital expenditure on one hand, which is OPEX and CAPEX, right?
All
And then
right.
you have
Yeah.
your revenue streams on the other hand. This is typical of any business, right? Doesn't matter if you sell pom poms or if you're selling music. You have a
Or
cost.
yeah, regardless of what it is, you need to have
Yeah,
something.
you
Yeah.
have cost and you have revenue. So what
Yeah.
happens in the music business is they don't deal with these two line items properly. They deceive themselves, both the artist and the label.
Right. Okay.
So what happens is, for example, I'll give you a typical example. In one business year for a new artist, right? Every quarter, he should have about at least one single with a reputable, a good video. Better if it's from a reputable director, so that the politics of airplay, you can circumvent it.
Okay.
Especially because the new artist, right?
Yeah.
This is how the business works. So let's say that video will cost you. Now you Habib, you are calling. Let's say we have Habib Records, for example, and Habib has some money, right?
Yeah.
So Habib signed this guy, and now we're trying to tell Habib Records what he needs to spend in the first 24 months, right?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so we're dealing with the first 12 months first, so we don't wear out Habib, so he just knows what was before him. And so let's assume that it was maybe SARS or any of these boys producing the track, and Habib had a relationship with them. Maybe they charged you 1 million naira, maybe, because they know that is their brand name that's going to get that new artist, that rookie artist of yours, airplay, right? So we have put 1 million naira in the pot. Okay, let's say we want to pay somebody else to mix and master it just for name, because Habib doesn't want any error on this first single of his artist. And say we meet somebody like Foster Zeno, or I don't know, there are different ones of them. They have their own industry. The sound engineers and those guys have their own industry, right? So you have this perfect record, right? Now let's say you pay the guy 500K to engineer the track, so you have 1.5 as costs already, right?
Yeah.
So let's even move forward now that you want to shoot this video with not Clarence, maybe Unlimited LA, because TG Omori is the guy buzzing now. Okay, so if it was probably Omori we're using, right? And with 3 million naira, that's already how much?
4.5. Yeah.
So that's still going. We're not there yet. Now you spend 4.5. We have the video now. We have the audio. We want to release it, right? We want to go to all the OAPs that have a brand. We want to also talk to guys like you guys offshore. Yeah. We want to talk to guys like Habib so that you hype it on your show, right?
Yeah.
So everyone is wondering why they're going to be doing this thing for me, right? For Habib Records for free, right? After all, this is a commercial project for Habib, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Good. So they're telling Habib, like, we won't charge you like officially, but I mean, you know how it is. Payola is always what the deal is. Okay, so you have a choice. Do you want to waste the effort and the 4.5 million and just getting regular rotation, or do you want to go hard? So you decide you want to go hard and you start to spend 500K on one radio station, 500. By the time you look at all what you've done just in Lagos, you spend like 5M.
With ease.
With simple ease, and that's not enough.
Oh, yeah.
Those OAPs are still on your case. Some want iPhones, some want iPads, all sorts of demands of Habib because they feel this is the only time that they can get it off Habib. When this artist blows, Habib go depose, artist go depose.
But that's amazing, really. That's extortion, isn't it?
I'm telling you what it is. If in case no one has told you how this how it is. This is exact. If you came today, if you left Dublin and came to Lagos today, everything I'm telling you is what you're going to deal with. So now you've spent 10 million on one single, which is going to last only 90 days for active rotation. Yeah. And then the brands get to notice you, but because they want to see if you're serious, they want a next single. You're not earning any money. Then they want the third single. Then they want the fourth single. So if you started first quarter of the year, by December, they start to call your artists for shows that they won't pay you for. And you'll be covering costs of logistics.
And you're already in for like 60 million already.
I'm telling you, bruv. And they're telling you, the Habib, when you try to say, but dude, you know we spend money. Those same event planners, those same brands are telling you, you have to pay your dues, G. So you, the artist, you, the label, you are waiting it out, right? If at any point in time you stopped at 30 million, the artist will go off on you because he won't stay. Because people know him now and they're expecting new material. You've run out of cash, right? Because you didn't know the figure in the beginning.
In Nigeria, it's pretty difficult. Yeah, it's pretty difficult for you to, to plan or to have a well-structured business because of all these extraneous factors.
We're only talking expenditure. Yeah. What is your revenue? Let's look at revenue a little. Your revenue comes from shows. When the artist starts going around, they want him to go on campuses, where even his team, they will lose more than they will gain from those shows. They will obtain them, those cult boys, take their chain off, chase them, ambush them, and the brand, maybe if it's Nine Mobile that is doing the event, they are going to just do the basics for you and give. And meanwhile, the brand has collected money, big money on the artists.
On the artists, yeah.
Yes, and they will give us 200,000 naira to go to Abeokuta. You know how many artists have fought for, brother? You know how many labels have fought for? Because I see both sides of the divide. What they don't do is they don't see it before they go into it. I do. So when I consult, what I do is I show you the scenario as an archetype.
Yeah.
As an idea. I show you the numbers first. If it make you uncomfortable, don't go in.
How did you even get to that point? Because what I'm wondering now is, being a pioneer in any scenario means that you pay a lot of debt as you go along. You probably went into the music industry with a lot of your personal cash when you were starting out. Did you see any returns? Let me just ask that first. Nothing. Well, what kept you going? What type of passion was driving you so much so that you were able to go as far as you went?
The music. I didn't like the fact that every time Nigeria is undervalued. Our scientists are undervalued. Our soccer stars are undervalued here. Everything is undervalued till it gets some colonial stamp. If the player is Kanu here, Kanu can never be good in Nwanyanwu National. It can only be good in Arsenal. The band can never be complete here till it does Kanye West. Okay? That's the type of mentality. It's a post-colonial free meal system. They don't do any work. We pay them our money to feature them. They don't even promote it. And we're promoting their material here because we are on the material, because they are on our material. So a lot of stuff that was just wrong. And it was wrong because people just didn't understand how business works. So that was what was driving me. The need for a paradigm shift. Stop think like a businessman. Don't think don't think about the color of the person's skin. Don't think about where he's from. Just think about the numbers. Mathematicians don't know. Science doesn't recognize race. The coronavirus cannot infect black more than white because it doesn't know the difference. Everything that doesn't recognize race. It's only when you start to layer it with false belief systems that, as long as it's Nigeria, there's no structure, it will not work. So I was determined to make sure, because Nigerians have money now. We don't work we don't work those kind. It might be corrupt kind of money, but not every Nigerian is corrupt. Nigerians work hard.
No, you have loads of Nigerians actually make legitimate good money. Loads of them in different sectors. You
can pick out a Nigerian in a club in Dublin, right? Because they ball differently.
Yeah.
You can pick out a Nigerian in a club in ATL because he balls differently.
Well, I've had that experience really, because I walked into a club, myself and my wife walked into a club, and we're the only black people in the club. And barely 2-3 minutes later, the DJ started playing, some Niger songs. I think he played Davido. He started with Two-Face, African Queen. Then he went on to D'banj, and he played like back to back, maybe about 6 or 7, songs, Afrobeat songs. And I was like curious, like what's going on, And I walked up to the DJ's booth and I was like, "Excuse me, where'd you get these jams from? Why you played them?" I was like, "I saw you come in," and I was like, you don't know me. He was like, "You're Nigerian, aren't you?" They can identify us when we walk into an environment with ease. So I wonder why we're not making the kind of money that we should be making from music in Nigeria.
So you see, music revenue comes from previously when Alaba was the thing. What was happening was the Alaba marketer pays you for your album, like how we had with P Square. I saw the industry go from zero to everything it is, and it's such a pleasurable experience because I've been in meetings after meetings from COSON. I've been in setups. I've had opportunities when artists come to me late at night. I'm talking about artists like anyone you can think of. I don't want to call any names. The biggest artists you can think of. I've had them in bar, sitting down, telling me, point their hats to me. I've had label owners. I've tried to solve disputes, get involved in things that I had no business in because I love the artist. I love Nigeria. I love the music. But you see, the artist is only interested in his art. And as long as his art is growing, he will not trouble you.
Okay.
Now, the only thing else is his welfare. So that cost I gave you, or we were talking about, was just the cost of the music.
Not the artist's compensation, not his welfare.
So when you sign him up, you had that budget of 40 to 60 million, depending on how you manage your PR and marketing budgets and whatever. But on the other side, you also have his accommodation, right? There's certain places you can't keep him because it's against the lifestyle rules. One, two, you don't want to get too much access to him. So standard apartment, maybe 2, 3, 4 million naira. You furnish it, maybe another 3, 4, 5 million naira. So you spent another 10 million close, just his home studio and his living quarter, right? So that's one off. That's like immediately you sign him. Those are the things that cost too.
Yeah.
You need to get him a car, right? Say even if you want to be ridiculous, you don't want them to be asking your artist when other artists are in an event to park outside.
The Nigerian thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So they will treat him the way he comes, how he presents him, because it's a lifestyle business, it's show business. There's no business without the show.
Yeah. When
show.
Yeah, when we're in school, there was a party that somebody did, and the person said, "Cars not properly dressed, not allowed." Cars. So you have to drive a certain type of car to be able to push the momentum. I understand exactly what you're saying. That's hilarious.
So now you're faced with an artist. Now, don't forget, Habib Records knows this artist is good, he's talented, so the music is not in doubt. So the artist is watching Habib to say, don't you think you'll make money off me? Type thing.
Yeah.
Right. So there's pressure on Habib at this point, both on the side of production and the side of welfare. So they say, what kind of car should we get? Okay, let's just get him the 10 years ago Range Rover, 2008, 2010 Range Rover. How much? $10,000 for a decent one. How much is that in naira? 4 million naira. You have gone to, plus clearing, you have gone to like 16M or house and car.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now we have not talked wardrobe. Because he cannot, once he takes a picture and he posts it online, he can't wear it again. Even
going out. You're going to events and stuff.
They will not, because they'll come for, the social media will come for not just him, they'll come for Habib too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
That if you were not ready, why did you go and do it? Is it by force? You know how Nigerians can be.
Oh yeah. So you're talking of you being a record label owner. You're talking of per artist, you need a minimum of 30 million to start off.
Something like that. 30 million is not enough. Did you not follow the case of Cynthia Morgan and Jude?
Yes, I wondered about that. That was
that's what was happening. So what was happening is exactly what I'm describing. Jude spent this type of money and he hadn't seen anything close to it. And while he was trying to recover some of his monies, the sharing ratio was such that she wasn't getting enough to sustain her greedy lifestyle. I use greedy because most artists are greedy when they start making money.
Is it a case of they're greedy or they're not educated enough? Because you see the dynamics of finance, is something that a lot of them do not understand.
My brother Habib, they are greedy. Trust me. I'm not. You see, when it comes to Nigerian artists, I know them. I've done heart to heart with, not exaggerating, more than 25. More than, where there's nobody but us talking about what you've done. I'm talking about every type of generation, from the generation of Paul Playdairo, from that generation. That's when I've been at that type of interaction. Yeah. So I'm telling you that when they start to make money, they will rather the label makes 20% and they make 80%. But if you do it like that, it will take too long for you to break even as a business.
You can't even break even.
Yeah, but this is where the conflict starts. They don't talk about this part though.
You can't break even at that rate. I mean, at that rate, because in the first place, if you're doing 60 million a year without without the artist being a hit in the first year, who takes the brunt?
The label, of course.
Exactly. So I mean, by the time you prorate the costs and everything, and you have to spread it across 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 artists that you have, at 20%, you can never make money. That's not possible.
So, but this is what happens in Nigeria, though, because of the glamour, because of the glitz, because they like lifestyle. You know, when you watch Diddy or you watch the band and John Jazzy, you see how guys are running around them, girls are falling over for them. You who has a bit of money, maybe you have like 30, 40 million naira. You say, man, I have to be the boss of the label, man. I want to sign the artist. I want to start. That's how they get in. Not doing any feasibility, no business plan, not knowing when they will get to a tipping point, because there's always that tipping point, right?
Yeah.
Those scenarios, they don't look at it. So in other businesses, in real estate, for example, they create the multiple scenarios, right?
Oh
They
yeah.
create sensitivity analysis. And same Nigeria, though. So in other sectors within the same country, those minds know the importance of a feasibility. In entertainment, nah. It's just, I have money, I've signed him, I've shot video, I've released it. That's all. Where is your cash flow? When are you expecting to start to earn? How much are you going to be earning? What are your revenue streams? How much are you going to get from streams? How much are you going to get from downloads? Why do you think you'll be able to do 1 million views on YouTube? What song? Who has done 1 million views on YouTube as a upcoming artist in his first year? So we'll probe those figures realistically, but because it always ends up showing them that is a loss, they don't
Yeah.
like to do.
It's pretty amazing that a lot of people still don't understand that there's a lot of financial management that goes into every type of business, especially when it comes to the entertainment business, because the entertainment business, the dynamics are so wide and you have so many moving parts. Do you still consult in the music industry, Tony?
Well, I mean, that's just a distraction for me right now. Really.
Okay. I'm going to ask you another question right after this tiny break. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Hi, guys. You're still on Just Banter, and we have Tony Nwakalor on the show talking about the dynamics of music, although the title of the show is Mining Music to Mining. Tony is a great guy, and he's still going to tell us quite a bit more. So just hold on, we're bringing him back into the studio. Hi, Tony. Welcome back.
Great to be back, bro.
Right. So, Tony, one question. Why did you leave the music industry?
For me, everything, I mean, one of the things that come with you being a polymath and being aware that you are when you are younger is you get to experience multiple worlds in one lifetime.
Yeah.
So I've experienced that world, and I was going to do the same thing I tried to do there in the mining space, which is even worse off and more unstructured than the music industry.
The mining space in Nigeria is a mine. It's a minefield, so to speak.
Well, not exactly though. There's a lot of pervasive ignorance, and I say that because I've been active as a consultant. I've been in several roundtables. I'm the PRO of the mining sectoral group of the Lagos Chamber of Commerce. And my feet is everywhere. Yeah, I'm in private sector, I'm in public sector. I have access to the ministers. I have access to the Senate. I see all the documents. It's going to move. And it's going to move in such a way that if Nigerians take a position, there'll be humongous opportunities. What has been the problem? Nigerians don't like exploration of any type. They don't like research. They don't like development. As R&D is not our thing. So any business that requires exploration or R&D, we need to have white folk, whether they be red white folk or white folk or just Indian, whoever, just someone else
Yeah.
does that part. While we
Somebody
come,
has to, but
yeah,
it seems like it's in every sector, because for everything that you see going on in Nigeria, there's so much potential, but yet the human resources that you have in Nigeria, adequate as it may be, still doesn't seem to be adequate enough to explore the different sectors in Nigeria and the potentials in the country.
there's a leadership problem.
You figure?
Yeah, there's a leadership problem across board. There's a lot of pretense. Okay.
Okay.
We have not had the opportunity to see how they do the Nigerian, like things like our budget and the things they insert as zonal interventional projects. They're used to making money off the system. They don't work. They're career politicians. They don't run businesses. So for them, that's their meal ticket, and they pay so much to get in there anyway. So there's a flawed system. There's a flawed foundation. But be that as it may, we are at the cusp of failing as a nation, or I mean, right now something has got to give.
It doesn't look like it doesn't look like something is about to give, because now you already have loads of issues, in the country. Now, you're in the mining sector, you see the documents, you hear I'm sure you probably hear security reports as well. Now, in a lot of areas in the country where you actually do have these mines, there's a lot of security issues around there.
There's security everywhere, Habib.
Everywhere.
In farms
exactly.
too.
I'm even saying, in relation to your sector, your present sector.
Okay. Right.
So it's clear that the governments that we have are not doing enough, if they're doing anything at all. There are killings in Zamfara, there's killings in Katsina, there's killings in Sokoto, there's killings in Maiduguri, there's killings in Enugu. It's happening everywhere. The pandemic that is even ongoing now is the pandemic of rape cases. And there just doesn't seem to be anybody saying enough about anything. There's a lot of digression. As soon as everybody's talking about rape right now, and we're still going to talk about it a bit later on. Everybody's talking about rape right now. As soon as an ad comes out now and they say, what's that thing again? You're putting out an ad for Big Brother Nigeria, for instance. Everybody forgets about what's going on. And they're all focused on something like Big Brother Nigeria. Now, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with Big Brother Nigeria, but the point is this. Aren't there more serious issues? Shouldn't you be more consistent in following up on those serious issues when you do talk about them?
Nigerians have a very fundamental challenge. They like to party. At first, I didn't understand it, so it used to upset me.
Yeah.
You have to understand every type of people. Nigerians are not generally.
Yeah, they're not.
They're jovial and joyous people. They're ostentatious people. They like glamour. They like parties. It's even embedded in our culture. Okay, we're not necessarily, in quotes, people who are industrious, where we would focus everything we have on just being serious. Became even worse after watching How You Don't Walk Through the Military from the days of General Gowon.
Yeah.
Where they stop working and just watch industries die one by one. So, a whole generation was born not seeing people working, right? Just hearing that you can be a big man and make money. Those born in
industries, yeah.
Yeah, those born in the 90s never knew anything like textile mills in Nigeria, a functional UCH.
They never saw anything like that.
Yeah, so this is the challenge, and that's why I say it's leadership. They have cannibalized the system, the security system, because that's the only way to keep the budget flowing in their minds. And those people, those sets of people only have that opportunity because, unfortunately, we have a president that is not present, as it
more
were.
or less. Yeah.
Yeah. So those around him can take advantage of his sense. In himself, there are certain things. If he was in his right, fittest faculties,
yeah,
that would be happening. But he's not, unfortunately, and he's just kept in hushed tones. But somehow we need to see it through. What am I doing? I'm not allowing that which I see as a challenge, that which I see as a system not working, to ever stand in the way of me going into the mud and rolling my sleeves. And so I would always push. I would always go in. I'm with the senators now. I'm talking sense to them. They can't talk things that don't make sense, because I would ask them to defend what they're saying. And when they can't defend, I ask them why they have taken a position they cannot defend. And if they cannot answer why they've taken the position, they let me be.
But do you think with all this, your rapport with them, your access and your intentions, do you think there's any synergy between yourself and the National Assembly?
Well, I mean, if you understand how the National Assembly works, you know that you have committees, right?
Oh, yes.
Each committee has a chairman, right?
Chairman.
Yeah, yes, the chairman of the committee on appropriation, chairman of the committee of mines and steel, chairman of the committee. You
have the formal ones and the informal ones.
No,
several chairmen for every committee.
Yeah, so there are some that are the chairman, formal and informal together. They are chairman within chairman.
Yeah, chairman within chairman. Yes, of course.
That's the type I'm working with.
Okay.
And fortunately for us, he's a good man.
Oh, right. That's great.
Because he made money outside of government. He's a businessman.
Okay.
He's an honest businessman.
Honest businessman.
Yes.
In the National Assembly.
Yes.
That is somebody that we will need to talk to someday, because that's very rare.
Yeah, because it's when the opportunity presents itself. He's not. He's just like me. He's not a public type guy.
Yeah, obviously, that's why Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we don't need to make noise. You see, I have the right synergy. I'm not. I mean, when God sends you on a mission, He gives you the provision, whether it's in terms of access or resource or knowledge. And I think that I can't speak for every other sector, but for the solid mineral sector, it will convert this country to paradise. Nigeria is extremely blessed. And why do I believe it will work? Because I have me. I can't speak for anybody else. And I will not let
But you speak for yourself.
Yes, I speak for myself. And I've seen how my one self can disturb the government till they answer me. I'm a pest. I don't let it go. I will disturb and I will disturb and I will I've gone on TV, I've cursed them out. They know me. I'm not here because by fluke. Okay, I'm watching everybody. I know where everybody is. I follow them up. If we had citizens 100 like me, the country would change. But I can't do it for more than my sector. So I can't speak for anyone else. But what I know for a fact, and by the grace of God, is that till I breathe my last, that sector, which is the future of wealth in Nigeria, must work, or somebody's going to take me out.
So you think mining, or rather, you think the solid minerals sector has better potentials than the technology sector in Nigeria?
What's going to drive technology? How are we going to use the technology without the input from the rare earth minerals? What's going to be your iPhone without the tantalite?
True.
Finite resources. How are you going to charge you the same phone you need for the technology? Are they going to build it on your palm? They must build it nice. There must be hardware for you to access software, right?
Yeah.
So the hardware market, as the population grows, is going to get tighter. And these resources are finite because they came over geological eons, tectonic activity.
Yeah.
They can't come. Our lifetime can experience new ones.
So the market is, inexhaustible for now. So it seems. It's finite.
I mean,
it's infinite.
Look at hydrogen is the first element on the atomic table. Hydrogen has an entire economy around it, right? Yeah. I just want to take you through. Hydrogen is going to power cars. Hydrogen, the US military is already building cars that are going to be fueled by hydrogen, and you have water coming out from the exhaust that soldiers can drink. Hydrogen is the future. That's atomic element number one on the atomic table. Please follow me closely. Helium, second element on the atomic table. You already know about helium balloons, right? That's an industry that's older than both of us.
Oh, yeah.
Let's look at, there's many more, right? But let's look at the third one, hydrogen, helium, lithium. I'm sure you know
Lithium,
about
yep.
lithium
Of
batteries.
course, yes. Lithium
Oh,
ion.
okay. So that's an industry. So three elements, three different industries. Let's go to the fourth one. Beryllium. That's the fourth element on the atomic table, right?
Yeah.
Beryllium is the source of beryl. What is a green beryl? A green beryl is what an emerald is. That costs $325,000 per carat. What's the size of a carat? 200 milligrams, almost lost inside your palm.
Wow.
I can go on and on and on and on. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, the next one. That's what they use to make solar panels. They use them to they dope the solar panels with boron. Hydrogen, helium, lithium, beryllium, boron, carbon. I mean, if you go carbon, can go different allotropes of carbon. I can go graphite. You know what they use graphene for right now, right? Nanoparticles. It's carbon, it's graphite they use for nanotechnology, right? If I go bituminous coals, that's the whole of Europe used to build this industrialization. Dublin, UK, Greece, it's all thermal power plants, coal-fired power plants, right?
Oh yeah.
So I don't want to go on, but I'm just telling you that the mineral industry is Nigeria has 34, my brother. No country I know has 34.
Oh yes, I know that, and that is what I find the most amazing. And like one of our viewers is saying, her name is Falake. She says research requires funding. It is only when a group or sector understands the significance of research that funds and due diligence is dedicated to it. We seem.
Sorry, I lost you for a minute.
Yeah, sorry, we lost you for a second there. Yeah, so one of our viewers, was just buttressing your point. She says research requires funding. Now, in Nigeria, the truth is this. A lot of these things that you have said, I'm sure even 90% of the people in the sector are not even aware of it. But even the people that are aware of it, how many of them are actually putting any funds into research? How many?
So, like I said, I'm tired of what other people are supposed to do, right?
Yeah.
I'm not on that trajectory anymore. When I got into Nigeria, because my family is not in Nigeria, legal in the West. And one of the reasons I took my kids out is because the education is so poor. And I didn't want them growing up. I mean, I love my country, but I would not sacrifice intellect on the altar of any nationalistic idea.
Any nationalistic ideas, nationalism, yeah.
So what is the issue? The issue is I'm not waiting for anyone to do anything on the mining sector. I'm in Abuja right now. Am I not? Why? There's a COVID lockdown. I don't live in Abuja, right? I live in Lagos. But I'm here. Why? Because I'm going to get things done. Why? Because I'm going to have those meetings. Because I'm not going to let them just go to sleep. I'm going to be asking them questions. And I'm not asking as an outsider. I'm a consultant. How did I become a consultant? It's because I never allowed that attitude of how many people are going to make it work. I'm not waiting. If you wait for people, Nigerians they will demotivate you. They will frustrate you. They will tell you, "Are you the owner of Nigeria? Nigeria, nothing can work." That's how that's the only kind of energy you get.
I've heard also.
I don't try to share my plans with anyone. I told you I'm not a public person per se.
Yeah.
So I don't create such opportunities where I'm discussing what I'm doing with you. I just believe in results. So when I go to do my work, I'm trying to maybe work on a bill. I'm looking at that bill with the heart of Nigeria. Okay? I'm working with the heart for Nigeria. And God will reward me because I'm working with the heart for Nigeria. It doesn't matter if 190 million Nigerians believe that Nigeria cannot work. If it's what I believe becomes my reality, my personal reality, what they believe is their personal reality. And since I changed my mindset, I started to get more done.
Definitely you would. Being accountable to yourself first and then being accountable to your society gives you a lot of clarity in terms of what is possible and what is not. Now, on the issue of accountability, it seems to be a major problem in Nigeria across board, from the leadership to the followership. Everywhere you look, nobody asks enough questions. Now, the point where I'm going with this is I'm going back to what is going on, which is something that I'm seriously talking about, consistently talking about it, and that is the issue of security, particularly when it comes to security for the women folk. Now, yes, there's a lot of misconceptions that on the issue of rape, it is only women, but we also know that you have men, especially young kids, going through that crazy type of trauma where people violate their body. Now, in the music and entertainment sector right now, it seems to be a very hot topic. We had Brimo on, even though he had some technical issues about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. He was in the news because somebody was accusing him of rape. Recently, I think it was 2 or 3 days ago, I saw Dibanj, posted that there's a woman that was accusing him of rape, and he was suing her as well for that. Now, we know the issue goes both ways. Some people, were actually, sufferers of that type of violation. And we know that in some cases, some people, it's just a case of they want to trend for the wrong reasons. And then they say something like, they were violated. But it seems that when it comes to the music and entertainment scene, rape is a very, very, very consistent thing that keeps popping up all the time. You were in that industry before. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, it doesn't play the same way for the music and the film industry. So which one do you know?
Give us both. I mean, you've been there. You tell us.
So for the film industry, you have a lot of desperate young girls in a place called Winnie's. That's how they started.
In Surulere, yes.
Yeah, Winnie's. So those girls come through, and you have a lot of Igbo Alaba boys that are the ones that pay for these movies.
Yeah, the producers are the financiers.
Yes, they're called EPs, executive producers.
Executive producers, yes.
So they empower the producer, who is the industry person, who will put together the director and the cast and crew. So they are using the Alaba boys' money or the Dumota boys' money to produce the movies, right? But however, because the power of selection is in the hands of the producer, and you have so many desperate, beautiful young girls who want to be stars, they want to be Liz Benson.
Yeah.
They start to make offers. Some. Now, the ones that think they have merited it, right? When a man has had so many women of easy virtue, he begins to get deluded to assume that it's every woman that is like that. And he cannot understand why you, who is you're a rookie, you're a greenhorn. What's all the attitude for? That's where it starts.
Casting couch or no couch.
Yeah. So a lot of the time, because of the level of impunity in our judicial system and the rot in our policing, they know that even if the worst happens, they'll pay subconsciously. Because there's not been any consequences in the past. And the girls are so many. Some are video vixens. Some just want to be extras. I mean, beautiful girls.
Yeah.
So that's how that graduated to creating beasts out of producers. From back in the days when EcoBank gave money for Charles Novia and Fred Amata to do movies. Way back.
Yeah.
All these things have been happening since then. It's not now, it's not new. Some people are just getting to know about it, but it's been as old as the industry itself. Now, on the music side, it's a little different because their lifestyle is more of partying than working. Because on the movie scene, they're on set for 14 days, they're in the same hotel. When they wrap back to the hotel, they stay out, they drink for a bit. Everybody goes to their room for call time the next morning. So if you have any funny ideas, that's probably the time when you can get crazy. And if you have no self-control, then the darker forces obviously have a greater chance of taking, charge of your mind.
Yeah.
So that's on the movie side. But on the music side, they party, they get high, they have women around them. They can't tell the difference between those who just came to take a picture, those that farms in them, they're hopping from one club to another, or, and then they end up in the house and the girls are half tipsy or
half inebriated. They're just not in the senses anymore.
Yeah, and then, it's all fun and laughter still in the artist's house. And I've seen this a couple times, by the way. I'm not telling you fiction. I'm telling you real stuff because I
I
manage so
know.
many.
I
Yeah.
know.
And so the girls get inebriated, and they're getting a little crazy, and they start to play funny games. And you see the one that's not trying to get with all those things they're doing, and she seems to be the one the guys are interested in. And then some get tired of her. She wants to leave. It's too late, and then everyone starts to, like, "What's wrong with you?" And that's how it starts. I don't need to tell you what happens next with whoever it is that was interested in such a female.
But that they
I
looked at
mean,
it.
a lot of them, Habib, a lot of the females are not talking.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So
That's my point.
these things is so. I mean, these things happen. What's happening now is that it's just getting a bit of amplification. Okay. Do you watch National Geographic, right?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that we men as a species need to lift our consciousness to stop looking at women like, how the lion pins down the lioness with brute force.
Yeah.
Yes, that's our primordial tendencies. We all have it. It's the ape. It's not really ape, but it's more as a lower animal in us.
Yeah, but you see that lower animal, yeah, it's a bit way too low because take for instance, yeah, I mean speaking of National Geographic, like you said,
But look at it. Oh, no, sorry. Let me. But they can't even change the laws for early child marriage here.
Yeah, but in the United States, you still have some states where it's illegal for you to marry as young as 11 years old.
And still in the UK, we have CNN talking about Prince Andrew molesting a young 15, 12, 13,
yeah,
13
exactly.
girl. Yeah, so it's not like it's an African problem. It's not like
no. It's not a racial. It's not a racialized.
I'm not even saying. I didn't say race. I said it's not an African problem.
Yeah.
We as men folk, in our DNA somewhere, we're deceiving ourselves to think we have appreciated and accepted women as co-equals, as our partners. A lot of men subconsciously haven't. A lot of men look at her as an object. That's why you can marry a woman and tell her that she cannot work again. What's she working for? That's not how you talk to a human being.
That's not how you treat a human being. Yeah.
Well, I mean, but are you saying you don't know that our Igbo brothers and some of our Yoruba brothers do it when they marry a beautiful woman? They'll be making comments like they don't want other people to be seeing you anyhow. You know how this town can be. Have you said you haven't heard those things?
I've heard, and what really amuses me about it is that why would you want to marry a woman that no other man is going to look at?
Well, but we're poking at the subconscious prejudices in us.
Yeah, it's unbelievable because you see, I was going to say earlier on that when we say that we are so low, you look at the penguins. For a female penguin to be attracted to a male penguin, it depends on the size, the height of the rocks that the male penguin can build. The higher the rocks, the more secure the female penguin feels because that means her eggs are going to be protected. That's what it means. That's what it symbolizes. You understand? To us, to human beings. But between the penguins, that is the reality. That is their own reality. Now, for us as men, I was saying to somebody this morning, I got a call very early this morning, and the person was talking to me about this rape issue. Somebody came to her. She runs an NGO that deals with this type of things. So somebody came to her and came to talk about an uncle molesting his niece. And they brought the issue to her. Now, the niece lives with the man. The niece is an orphan. So more or less, the man is molesting his own child because that child is in his care. He's her guardian.
No, you're missing the point. What you're doing is very nice as a journalist. This is the more idealistic and pragmatic approach to look at an issue. I'm saying that there's a mental problem that's pervasive.
How many of us can have that mental problem?
Well, you don't have it. I don't have it, but I'm telling you, bro. In the sectors where they deal with women every day who dress raunchily because that's the fad. I mean, how do you want a girl who's doing makeup to dress? She needs to be comfortable on set, right? So it's not about how she dressed. The
It
guy
has
does
nothing to do with the
problem.
way she dresses.
That's what I'm saying. But that's what you don't you hear comments from men like that saying it's because she dressed like this. You see it
I've
on social media.
I've heard the
Yeah,
comment
you
from
see
I've
it.
heard the comment from women.
That's good. So that's the subconscious bias. There's a big problem. They do not understand that our young boys are still following in the generation who still think that women are objects to satisfy our pleasures and our desires. Are you there?
I'm just in shock. You understand? Because since I had that conversation this morning, it took me back because I was like, how can you look at a 14-year-old girl and you're about 50, and you will do that to a 14-year-old child kept in your care? How can you do that? But when I look at the more obvious cases, I start to get okay. I think we've lost Tony there for a second. He'll come back. So we're still talking about the issue of rape. Unfortunately, we're talking about music to mining, but this issue of rape keeps coming up consistently. It seems to be in every sector across the country, especially in Nigeria, and we wonder why. Because we're not animals. Even animals, there's some form of decency. There's some form of courtship in between them. Now, okay, somebody for like is saying something. She says it is a man-related struggle. Parents need to be orientated. Hi, sorry we lost you there for a second, Tony.
Yeah, I didn't know what happened. It's just like, sorry
Yeah,
about it.
it's a network standard. It happens even here.
Yeah.
So our friend for like is saying again, she says that the issue of rape, it is a man-related struggle. Parents need to orientate and re-educate their offspring regards to sexuality and primitive behaviors. Societal norms are innovating and the fluidity needs to be put across to all. Now, from what Falaka is saying, everybody keeps talking about rape, and the first thing that comes to their mind is raping the females. But there are also the issues of men. Young boys being raped. What level of bestiality is that, Tony?
Well, for me, I think what the challenge is we have a problem that has been pervasive, but because it came like a silent enemy,
Yeah.
we didn't understand what was happening. Our minds were saturated with all sorts of sexuality and violence from
Yeah.
Hollywood. When we're growing up, we used to watch. When you're watching Indian movies, they don't have sex in them. They dance and they sing. Even when they're about to kiss, they'll stop. You remember?
Yep. Intermission. That's what it used to be called then.
Yeah. So at some point, those same Indian and Chinese movies in the early 80s in Nigeria started to be replaced by some set of Hollywood movies. And then our minds started to get exposed to the most perverse type of sexuality. So from that era, our minds have been conditioned to look at sex before marriage as normal, school, high school sex romps, fraternity romps. All those things were fed by purely Western media. And it started in the late 70s into early 80s.
So
it's enough.
We hope you will join us on our campaign against rape, especially in the music and entertainment, sectors. There are two hashtags: say no to rape and no excuse. It's something that needs to be talked about. I spoke to my mother today, and I was telling my mother that Dibanj was being accused of rape, and my mother was like, "Yeah, Mogbe, and he's such a good boy." Everybody has their views about different people, you know what I mean? But that being said, we all need to look at this issue. We all need to say something about it at some point. And the women, we hope we can protect them because they are the future.
We need the women in leadership. One of my vows.
Oh yes.
One of my vows, and what I've seen, be because I'm, from my own spiritual belief system, the female principle is much higher than the male principle. The male principle is restless. It's like a restless light that needs to be settled in a womb. That's who don't have a good woman. They seem to be, So that's why men are in a position of leadership. The country looks like it's jumping up and down.
So we need the women to step up.
Yes, we need to change the balance. There are too many, there are too few of them. And the ones that the men even allow are the women that behave like them.
Yeah.
Not the real women that have the real female principle.
So Tony, we won't take too much of your time. We've done fantastic. We've even overrun by a few minutes, maybe about 2-3 minutes. Now, for us to have had you on the show, for you to come out into the public domain to speak, I know that takes a lot. So we truly, truly appreciate the fact that you came up, and then you've done fantastic. Educating people on what is possible in the mining industry. You've spoken to us on what's going on in the music industry and entertainment industry that a lot of people have no idea about. Now they're a bit more educated about it, so they can tell the difference between, all the glitz and glamour and what is truly obtainable in those sectors. We hope very soon to have you on again. And this time around, I hope we'll be talking more about the mining itself. We'll not even talk about music anymore.
I'm always excited when I talk about mining. So yes,
let people learn something, from Tony.
We want you guys to come take the opportunities. Okay, and I'll say this for free because of my position. I'm not allowed to feel certain things.
Yeah.
But Nigerian young men need to shift their eyes away from real estate to getting mining licenses.
But mining licenses are so cumbersome.
Yeah, no, that's false. Go to the mining cadastral office website and you see what you need for an exploration license. It's so cheap. You will buy Gucci glasses for more than you will pay to get it, especially when you're not paying. If you're getting it in a community, like if you're Yoruba and you're getting it in your own state, where you don't have to pay for a consent in such a way that a foreigner would have to pay. They will say, Tiwan, yeah. You don't pay us this one. Don't worry. When you work and everything works, you will settle us. We'll be okay. You believe that you will treat us well. So really, every other cost is insignificant. And guess what? It's foreigners that are taking those licenses, Chinese and Australians, while Nigerians are claiming that they are hustling. The way oil and gas blew in 1950 is the way mining will blow in Nigeria in 2025. Write it down.
Yeah, but you say it's a cost-intensive business. How do young people have access?
There's different levels of it. You can access funding from development finance institutions. You can do it artisanal. You can put together a cooperative of guys in your village, make them 100, register a cooperative.
I strongly believe in cooperatives, yes.
Yeah, access finance and then give them extension services for mining training. The government will support you. You have me, I have access. Still alive.
So if you're watching this, you have access to Tony. He's telling you now he's an accessible person. So you can always reach out to him.
I work for everybody.
Exactly. So you can always reach out to him. Just send him a text or something. And Tony Nwakalor, a great guy, as always.
Thank you. Thank you.
I will say it again. It's been a fantastic day having you on board. And we hope to have you on board again very soon and to talk only about the mining. We need to consistently, we keep saying it, we need to consistently talk about developmental projects in Nigeria, and it doesn't have to be governmental.
I just hope that I hope you don't bore your listeners who want to hear entertainment type conversations.
Oh, well, what we've realized is that's what they all want to, well, not all, that's what most people want to, but we actually have a particular group of people who are always on. They're always listening because they want to listen to these types of conversation. You have the likes of somebody that just commented that I showed you earlier on. Her name is Falake. Falake, we love you. Thank you very much. We have
we love you from across the sea.
We have Mustafa Alpha. He's watching as well.
Is Musti on?
Oh yes, he's watching as well. Top dog.
Musti.
Even though he's in the entertainment industry, he likes to hear this type of stuff. So he's always watching. He's always there. You have him. You have Abi Raimi. Abi Raimi is an educationist. We have tons of them. They're always
Okay.
on. They're always watching. They always want to listen to,
And so
informative programs like this.
let me just use this opportunity to say that those who have something constructive to do, I'm not
Yeah.
talking people who want to come and submit proposals and collect government. There's two types.
Yes. Oh, yes,
Those who have
definitely.
something constructive to do, this is the best time.
No, but I was in Nigeria several times last year. I was in Nigeria probably maybe all of 17, 18 times in 10 months last year. I went through a lot. It's not something I could say on air,
Yeah.
So it wouldn't be a case of I'm leveraging over the fact that I'm on air and I can say just about anything. But I'll give you an example. Somebody developed an app for health. It's just something that's going to take your details, not your personal details, and then you're able to track your health over time.
Okay.
Now he was told that he needed a license to be able for people to use it in Nigeria. And he tried to get that license, and they were asking him to pay money for something that he wanted to give to people for free.
So those are the civil servants in Nigeria.
So those are the worries. Those are the worries that most
don't worry
in the
about
diaspora. That. That's the challenge that they have.
No, you must understand that regardless of where you have lived, Nigeria is your home country.
Oh, yeah.
We have our own behavior peculiar to us.
Doesn't make it right, though.
No. I'm not saying right or wrong. That's just perspective.
Oh, yeah.
You cannot throw away the baby with the bathwater.
Bathwater, yeah.
Whether they ask you for money or not, they are not willing to pay. It's okay. Look for another route. You know how many routes I passed before I'm where I am? We must build that persistence.
Capacity.
Long suffering is a spiritual principle I wish more young people can imbibe. If you do not have long suffering, you cannot even be used by the divine.
True.
So the fact that they say pay money here, you suffered 18 times. Jesus, for those who are Christians, he said 70 times 7. It's endurance he was talking about, not that he was saying that you turn your face 70 times 7 times. He's saying you have to have endurance, long suffering.
Right.
Because for you to effect change, you must have it. Patience is the strongest virtue for accomplishment.
It is. Because it gives you the ability to be consistent. Yeah.
Most African nations, they are more patient than us Nigerians.
Oh, no, that's a given. Everywhere else you go, you see that.
So then if you know these things, then tell people to calm down. They shouldn't condemn us. It's just we love ourselves like that. You see,
our aggressive nature.
Monkey no fine in mama like. I like it. I like us like that. Make them look best.
Well. I love Nigeria. I love being Nigerian. I've never said otherwise since I was born. Nigeria is home. Nigeria means a lot to a lot of people, especially in diaspora. So many of them want to come home. Some of them are looking for cooperatives. Some of them are looking for opportunities back home in Nigeria, especially when you look at the issue of racism, how a lot of them suffer indignities. They truly want to be back in Nigeria where they are in the majority and they can relate to people like themselves. But
they want soft landing. They want light.
But the problem, yes.
You cannot have smooth road that you are driving in Dublin, have everything working well, go to the store, everything is civil, and still come and not face the indignity. You would rather choose our bad road and no light, and then walk here till we enjoy those roads, and then we will never face indignity together. You cannot have it both ways. So, my brother, I permit me to run off now. It's been a very exciting conversation.
Very, very exciting. That you love this time that we have had to share. So, hope to do it again soon, like we said. And cheers. You have a great day.
You too, my brother. Bye-bye.
Yeah, bye. So that was Tony Nwakalor. Tony is always an amazing guy. He's a beautiful person to talk to at any point in time. Why? He's such a brilliant person and so down to earth. He's very accessible, like he said. So if anybody is thinking of doing anything in the mining industry and you need some information or you need some help, you can reach out to the likes of Tony and get, him to tell you a thing or two so that you can know, how to go about it. Now, I'm going to be introducing somebody to you. No, it's not another elongated part of the show. It is not. It's just simply a case of this thing that has got me, like really focused on it and talking consistently every day about it. And still that same issue of rape. So there's this lovely young lady who has released a single, and a single is called No Excuse. I'm going to play a teeny bit of it for you so that you hear it, and then you tell me what you think. Her name is TY.
Say you hear the things where they happen. Say we no fit move as things don't they happen. See a dad don't end for coma, a chioma don't get amnesia. Say who away don't die. All the girls on street on the bagger, cause bad guys stay for the area, oh yeah. Say bad boys stay for corner, oh yeah. And them talk say them go take it by force. Them go one day talk say no be them fault. Said I help me tell them.
Say no excuse, oh.
No excuse, oh.
Your mama na woman, no excuse, oh.
No excuse,
No excuse, oh.
Badass song, No Excuse by TY. You can check her out at TY Official on Instagram, on Facebook. She's been backed by Top Dog Records. It's fantastic. It's great. But that being said, the issue of rape is a very serious issue. People need to talk about it. People need to work on it. We need to raise men who are sensitive to the needs of other people around them. So like we said earlier on, rape is not just rape of women, you have rape of men as well. People being raped are vulnerable people, especially. So we all need to start looking out for each other. We need to start paying attention. We need to start sensitizing ourselves a bit more on the issue of rape. Support this campaign against rape by using the hashtags on the screen, No to Rape and No Excuse. And then also you can give your support to that fantastic young lady who has come up with this lovely jam against rape. Her name is TY. Like I said, you can find her jam. You can find the song No Excuse on iTunes. You can find it on Spotify and a couple of other, platforms where you can get music. You guys have a great day. Have a fantastic week ahead. And watch out for the show on Thursday, where we're going to be talking about the mental health issues around the issue of rape. And don't tell me I'm overflogging this issue. It is important that we talk about it, because if you don't have women in a good state of mind, then you have troubled nations across the board. You educate a woman, you educate a nation. So you can imagine if a woman is in a good state of mind, the kind of things that are achievable. I wish you all the best over the week. Have fun and enjoy yourselves. Goodbye for now. See you on Thursday at 8 p.m.